leave for other parts of the Strip. They can't get out of Gaza. On both sides of this conflict, ordinary people are paying a terrible price.
5 families live in this building. 3 rockets hit, without any warning, without any call, without anything. A whole family was killed. A husband, wife, and their children. The rest are injured in the hospital.
Anger at Israel's bloody and oppressive occupation and blockade of Gaza helped fuel the awful violence inflicted by Palestinian militants. Anger at their brutality will fuel the deadly response Israel is now inflicting on Gaza.
Seconder Kamali there, and some of the footage in his report was filmed by our colleague Youssef Hamash, who's inside Gaza. Well, I'm now joined by Fleur Hassan Nahum, who's the Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem. When you look at the number of deaths, the number of people held hostage still, do you believe that the intelligence and security services have this situation under control or not?
Well, they certainly didn't yesterday morning when there was an attack in 7, 8 different points on a border which is supposed to be properly secured. It's a border of a country going into another country, because Israel, as your reporter misinformed, the public has not been in Gaza since 2005. You can talk about a blockade, but you can't talk about an occupation. Israel left Gaza in 2005. They've had free and fair elections, at least once. Hamas was elected by the people over Fatah, and they've been ruling the Gaza Strip for the last 10, 11 years. And so we actually have a proper border.
Yeah, but it's been blockaded for 16 years, and there is now untold suffering in Gaza, as there is among the Israelis did. You know, this is something that this bloodshed is now, it's just appalling to watch, isn't it? Do you agree with that?
Gaza has 2 borders, one with us and one with Egypt. In fact, in the last few months, and this is why this was surprising to us in Israel, we've been increasing the amount, at Hamas's request, we've been increasing the amount of work permits for Gazans to come into Israel to do an honest day's work, because, you know, Hamas take the international aid that they get and they build weaponries and tunnels instead of actually developing an economy or anything for their people, hospitals and schools.
But you know there are civilians in there who are unable to leave, and they're being urged to leave now. Well, where are they supposed to go? Where are they supposed to go? The 2 million people in Gaza.
And where are the people in the south of Israel supposed to go? The militants that came into Gaza yesterday morning came in with one goal, and that was to kill innocents. When Israel goes in to destroy terrorist infrastructure, innocents, unfortunately, are the casualties of war. And let me tell you, the people in the building that you reported about all got an SMS message saying, please leave the building, we're about to bomb it, because there is terrorist infrastructure in that building. What we have here is a double war crime. The Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, which is ISIS, which is an arm of the Iranian government, come in to kill innocent Israelis, and we go in and we warn their innocence.
Let me talk about the innocent Israelis that you've just mentioned, some of whom are now held hostage.
Yes.
Given the security failings that you've alluded to yourself, should the security minister resign, do you think?
Well, I'm not in the cabinet and I can't make those decisions. I'm a local politician. Look, I think that at the moment we have to get the situation in control. We have to restore calm. We have to get the people that have been taken hostage back. And then
how do you do that?
We have to have an investigation on what happened here.
Right. And how do you get the hostages back safely? Because some of them have been taken to Gaza now. Is a ground offensive there the only option, or is that fraught with difficulty, and might it be better negotiating with Hamas, for example?
Well, I don't think Hamas is an honest organization to negotiate with, especially when everybody knows that they're the long arm of the Iranians. And if you ask me why this is happening, it's because Israel was making incredible advance towards peace with Saudi Arabia. There's a bigger picture here. And everybody else, all these innocent people on both sides, are being used as pawns.
So is the ground offensive into Gaza, in your view, the only realistic option to have any prospect of bringing some of those hostages back?
Well, I don't see how an air campaign can bring hostages, which is now probably 100, more than 100, some people say hundreds of hostages back. It's very, very sad. The situation is sad. I'm close to this lady who's can't find her son already for 36 hours. He was at, ironically, a peace festival nearby at the rave. And at the moment, we're in a situation where there are so many mothers and fathers who can't find their children. It is absolutely tragic what's going on in Israel right now, inhumane what's going on.
Fleur Hassan Nahum, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Well, here with me now is the Palestinian ambassador to the UK, Hussam Zomrot, who's a senior member of Fatah, the party which controls the Palestinian Authority and is a political rival of Hamas. Ambassador, you heard there about the people missing, the hostages taken, the mothers, the elderly women, children taken hostage. Will you condemn this atrocity by Hamas?
Kathy, I have had this question as the first question in every interview I did, and I refuse to answer that question because it is the reason why we as an international community have failed to depict the situation as it is. The business of always being obsessed with blaming the victim, the occupied, the colonized, the besieged, when in fact I didn't see you asking her to condemn. I didn't see you.
But
I did not hear your first
to
question to condemn the killing of an entire family that your reporter.
No, I tackled her on the people who are losing their lives in Gaza, and I'm asking you about the people who have lost their lives, the Israelis who have lost their lives.
It's tragic.
And you condemn that
it's
atrocity.
tragic, and this has to stop. And this approach by the international Western media has to stop also. There is no way we can draw symmetry. The one side that is responsible for all this is the occupying power. You cannot draw symmetry between militant groups and what you call here in the West the only democracy in the Middle East.
This was an unprovoked attack. There were people at a peace festival, at a music festival. Could be hundreds dead there, young people. They had no quarrel in this. They had no skin in this game. Why did they have to die?
Currently, my task here is to represent my people. This isn't about Hamas. This isn't about the last 48 hours of what the Israelis have seen. My people have been seeing the same over a period of 75 years. This is about the Palestinian people, more than 13 million of us, that have been denied our very basic rights for almost a century.
But I'm asking you, as a human being, would you urge Hamas to release those hostages? As a human being?
As a human being, I urge that people's legitimate rights are respected.
And that includes the hostages, because after all, taking hostages is illegal in international law.
I wish safety to everybody. But do you know, Kathy, that Israel has taken 2 million people in Gaza hostages for the last 16 years?
And you heard me asking the deputy mayor that very question.
And I haven't heard any in the Western media or the international politicians really the outcry about that. So it's practically, ironically, it's hostages taking hostages.
Well, I did tackle the lady in Jerusalem over that very point. But look, the attack by Hamas has now prompted this mighty vengeance, as Israel is calling it. The people of Gaza are the ones who are going to suffer. Your people are going to suffer. So how do you bring this bloodshed to an end? How do you play your part in that?
By giving my family in Gaza, because they are in Gaza, hope, horizon,
Where is the
prospect. Yeah, that's the question the Israelis need to ask
I'm
themselves.
asking you that.
No, it's not for me. Our people have been struggling for 100 years. Our people, look, you know what is so tragic as well is the supremacy of family in Israel, that they could go and wreak havoc everywhere. They could attack Palestinians, kill them, round them without charge or trial. They could steal our land, they could desecrate our holy places, they could besiege people for years, and then they ask why this is happening.
But there's
This is the epitome of racism.
But there's the same attitude by Hamas, right? 700 Israelis have lost their lives.
This is the epitome of racism. If we really want to nail it down, this is a moment that serves as an alarm, a wake-up call for all of us. There is no way around the Palestinian people and our issue. There is no way but to end this occupation. There is no other route but to enforce international law and international legitimacy.
Okay, but how does your party, Fatah, bring some pressure on Hamas? You talk to Hamas, for example.
My party has been the party that has led the Palestine national movement. My party started the armed resistance long before Hamas. And then we gave up that and we committed to 3 things: recognizing Israel, committing to negotiations and non-violence, and committing to international law and resolutions.
Are you talking to Hamas now? Are you urging restraint?
That was 30 years ago. we did that.
Okay, but
Israel
not
was
now?
expect-
You have no
we still,
leverage.
Israel was expected to do one thing, end its occupation, stop its colonization.
All right.
You know what happened, so
Okay.
you cannot.
Ambassador, I'm so sorry, we're out of time. Ambassador Zomlot, thank you very much for joining us.